was thinking, what a wonderful opportunity to gather with people that we have a connection. We have a connection with really a unique man. I played that song because it's full of meaning about life and the journey for meaning and the apprehension of others. I didn't think it had anything at all to do with Jimmy or me, other than the fact that when we were kids, our older sisters or the siblings or the people we knew were playing, and we didn't have a clue what it meant, but it sure sounded nice. 500 miles away from home. Back then, you couldn't get anywhere 500 miles away unless you had a Greyhound bus. But my belly's not getting it.
What's happening?
It's good. I want to make a few remarks about our grief and the reflection we have when we think about Jim. We all know that he's passed. That's why we're here. The one thing we have in common is that his life made an impact on us. But he's not here. The people who matter are here. You are. And I want to speak about our search for meaning. We come here because Jim cast a wide net in his journey. Each of us have gathered because of the obligation of grief. Grief, loss. It's an homage to self and others. It is, they say, the mark of being human. The earliest grave sites found. Ancient bones with a bit of ochre and a small bloom. Each of you has a moment when you met Jim. You may share them, you may not, but you all have moments where you came into knowing him. You became acquainted with him and his presence among us. Many of you will visit the Maritime Museum and you'll be seeing people that you know, and all of a sudden Jim's name will pop out. For me, it'll be amongst family. I first met Jim, and this is a tell, as I bent over the foosball table. I hit that ball, bang, it went in the opposite end, and I heard a voice say, "The banks are open." I looked over, and there's one of my classmates sitting next to a lawn here. I said to Stoltz, "Who's that?" He says, "That's Jim. He's a shepherd." He's a shepherd. I then saw him again when I come home to the area and I'd buy fish at the market, and we renewed our acquaintance. We both had salmon fished, me growing up, him as a career. Then Jim became sick.
Okay, we'll try that.
And I renewed acquaintance with some of you, and when we did a cleanup of his yard. As it happens, I'm a hospital chaplain, retired. Jim and I would talk about God. This will be short. It's okay. Jim and I would talk about God. He talked with you about what you and he related to, but with me, we talked about God. Yep, God. At one point, Jim and I thought it time to have a talk with God. When I showed up at his house, surprise, he had company. I said, "Jim, shall we put this off No, let's do this, he said. So Jim, as a few friends listened, prayed with me that prayer of Christian faith that Billy Graham has made so famous. And that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. Okay, then he went off to his first procedure, and you know the journey he went through. As we watched his journey, Jim fought a difficult battle, and in the end, he passed over the bar. And to be blunt, it wasn't all that comfortable. As I look out and I consider the opportunity to speak, I mused upon one true thing of Jim. He had an impact on many lives. And since he was wanting to provide a space for nostalgia, reflection, and vigorous discussion, it is your turn to reflect. The song I chose to play as we settled was one of many that point to the solitary journey of us all. And now, since Jim has gone from this place, I remark that we are all on a journey through time. We have, as a matter of course, the natural things of food, shelter, and the like to attend to. Throughout the world, many struggle to meet such pressing needs. I've borne compassionate witness to the suffering of this world as foisted by folly and caprice upon the tiny, the frail, and the least of society. We bow the heart and ask of the divine mercy do their sake. We also must, of an inner need, find meaning, vocation, and love of self, and that of others and by others. I've borne compassionate witness to those alone, bereft, and without such comfort. For all of that, we're here but a few brief moments. For all of that, we are here but for a few brief moments. Or days, or months, or years. And what transpires, be it favor or ill, it is our journey to make of it a bit of authentic meaning. Today I will serve the God of Abraham, for instance, Isaac and Jacob, through Christ. I will serve the least as able through, and though fate the reward. And I will pause to consider my journey, its wanderings, its path to meaning. I suggest it good to do so. It's a more human task exists. I don't know of it. This search for meaning. Our gathering today is an homage of a man who we saw had meaning, we honor his meaning, and he spoke to us of our meaning in some important way. I'll close now with a few religious thoughts. The prophet Micah says, "He's shown you, O man, what is good, and what does the Lord require of you? But to do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with your God." I'll close now with a traveling prayer of my people. May it be your will, Lord, our God, and God of our ancestors, that you lead us towards peace. Guide our footsteps towards peace. Make us reach our desired destination for life, gladness, and peace. May you rescue us from the hand of every foe. Ambush along the way, and from all manner of punishments that assemble upon the earth. May you send blessings in your handiwork, and grant us grace, kindness, and mercy in your eyes and in the eyes of all who see us. May you hear the sound of our humble requests, because you are God who hears prayers and their requests. Blessed are you, Lord, who hears prayers. Amen. Thank you for listening.